Hello everyone! These cookies are fun and so incredibly delicious. They are not just a treat, but a perfect way to spread some love this festive season. So if you want to learn how to make them, then just keep watching. Starting with a very obvious ingredient, we will take room temperature butter. To which we will add the icing sugar. You can even add home ground powdered sugar, but make sure to sieve it well. Now since we are not looking to whisk the butter, we will simply use a spatula to combine the mixture. But this time I was having trouble with the mixing as the temperature dropped a bit, and due to cold weather the butter wouldn't really come to room temperature. Try not to mix it more than just a minute or two. Next, we will add the vanilla essence, giving it a quick mix as well. Now that looks perfect. Once done, we will now add the dry ingredient, that is the all-purpose flour. We will add it in parts to ensure we incorporate all the flour without leaving any flour pockets. Now if you wish to make it using whole wheat flour, I would suggest you replace half the all-purpose flour as the texture may change to a certain extent. And I'd suggest you first try with half the recipe to know how it works. But in case you have any query, do let me know in the comments below. So finally, we bring the dough together by gently kneading it with our fingertips. And this is the texture we are looking for. Now take the dough onto a clean rolling mat and shape it into a log. And simply divide it into 3 equal portions. Now at this point I would ideally take a weighing scale to get each cookie dough to weigh the same for my baking pantry, but you can easily eyeball it. Now taking the first portion, we will add some all-purpose flour. The idea is to make it to a consistency of other doughs. You'll see as we work with the rest. To the second portion of the dough, we will add a teaspoon of cocoa powder and a few drops of coffee essence. You could also try adding a teaspoon of instant coffee or even a hint of cinnamon for the festive twist. Or better yet, surprise me with your favorite festive flavors and share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Gently knead the dough using your fingertips until it turns to a smooth light brown even tone. Now for the third portion, we'll add a generous amount of cocoa powder along with a few drops of Belgian chocolate essence. Or you can skip the essence and add a teaspoon or 2 of good quality malted chocolate drink powder instead. Do let me know if you give it a try. Now to keep the dough from going dry, we will add a dollop of room temperature butter. The idea is to keep the dough moist and pliable. Gently mix it until the dough develops a rich, even tone. Now using a cling wrap, we will take each dough and wrap it individually to seal the moisture in before we start working with it later. This will go into the refrigerator for about an hour. Once refrigerated, now comes the fun part, and this is where you get your little ones to join in the fun. We will start by working with one dough at a time. Starting with the vanilla dough, using the bent scraper, we will divide the dough into 10 equal parts. But like I said, we're not looking for perfection here. It's more of a fun baking session with your little ones. So don't be afraid to give it a go. So taking one portion of the dough, we will roll it into a thin log. And taking a skewer as a measuring guide, we will help keep the dough length to be equal for all. Once done, place it on a tray lined with the parchment paper. And repeating the same for the rest of the dough, we will place them together and cover them with the cling wrap to avoid them from drying out. Similarly, we will take the coffee dough and repeat the same process. If at all you find the dough sticking to the work surface, you can always dust it with some dry flour to help ease out the rolling. And once again, repeat the same for the chocolate dough. This may seem like a lengthy process, but that's where you get more hands on deck and speed up to the ultimate magical moment of twisting the cookie dough. Now, before you start with the next step, we need to make sure the work surface does not have any residual tint from the chocolate dough. And it's the bent scraper that comes in handy as always. Now take a log from each dough and get ready to shape them into something special. Bring them together by pressing the two logs lightly and placing the third one over it to form a triangle. Press it gently, making sure all the logs come together as one. Now roll the two ends in the opposite direction, just like I've shown here. Go slow and easy, guiding it to unfold the amazing twisted cookie dough. Isn't this exciting? Now, once you're happy with that, we will cut it into 3 portions for the cookie. Amazing twisted cookies. Place them on a parchment-lined baking tray, leaving enough space between each to allow even baking. Similarly, repeat the process for the rest by moving one end down and the other up. This can be a little tricky for the kids, but watch the fun and see how they engage themselves into this super fun process. And don't worry if you find any cracks in the process, simply pinch it lightly and you're good to go. This will go into the preheated oven, but make sure to keep an eye on it as every oven heat is different. Perfectly baked and ready to wow everyone, don't you think? That beautiful swirl of 3 flavors in one, how gorgeous is that? And that's what makes it an ultimate gifting solution. Can you imagine biting into one of these? The blend of colors, the swirl of flavors. They're almost too beautiful to eat. But trust me, you won't be able to resist. Bake these and watch everyone's face light up. Time to see how they've turned out on the inside. Perfectly crisp on the outside and so tender on the inside. It'll simply melt in your mouth. So go ahead and add a touch of homemade magic to your day. Happy baking! Thank you for watching. Bye for now.